Yes. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Let me check the mic here, make sure we don't have any echoes. I get that echo. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
That's why I always check for the echoes, y'all. Okay. I think we are good. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Journey to Bliss. And as you know, I am Miss Bliss, and I have a special guest here tonight who is going to be talking about becoming queens. And her name is Nekhena. Nekhena.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Please introduce yourself and explain to the family what you have to offer.
Okay, so I'm Queen Nekhena Evans, and I am a native Brooklynite. That's the first thing I'll say with Southern roots. It's interesting for a moment you touched on, you mentioned Reverend Phil Valentine, and I go back with him actually. Uh, those of us in a certain spirit, we always find that we have connections, the same kind of roots. So uh, Phil Valentine was part of my early teaching, my mentor, the Gathering of Masters, a long time ago. I think Brother Simon, who works with Nicholas, and I met there. But anyway, going back to me being a Brooklyn girl, and then going into school for social work and psychology. So I did the social work degree, and I came out, and in 1992 I left the system and I opened up my own business called New Being Enterprises. That's NEW, one word, being, like a brand new being without the G.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole purpose and mission of Nubian was captured in Nubian as transformation from the inside out, and also tapping into the ancient, the regality of ancient Nubia. So coming up in Brooklyn and then discovering our ancient legacy in the early, as a high school and college was the beginning of my studies. And I'm a sacred woman. I've gone through that training. I've been in Barbarian technology, a Chia technology of soul, and I can't even, so many things, so many pieces that are part of it. Um, but one thing that I got from my social work background was not the background, it's the spirit of who I am, of empowerment and of
Mm-hmm.
loving women and loving Black women, especially. I mean, I love all women, but I'm a Black woman. And so my specialty has gone toward women. And also the past, what people know me for is being a pioneer in the natural hair industry. So in the 80s, along with Kamet Kings and Carol's daughter and Chenzo's, all those people, I was a part of that group. And I wrote a book. I'm an author called Hair Locking Everything You Need to Know, back in 92. So that was really, they call it the Lock Bible, a primer to really break through some of the misconceptions about our hair and our locks. So it's always been about empowerment for me, loving my culture, studying my culture, embracing women and the power and beauty that we possess. And so I also made adornment. So I started making lock jewelry and creating all these genres. And it's been, wow, I feel so old right now.
No.
Wow.
We reverse aging. That's what we
Well,
do.
yeah, I'm ageless, that I am. But wow, there's such a history. I'm like, okay, you're saying, oh, it's a lot of, uh currently, and this last iteration, because I do believe in chapters, and there's a thread of empowerment, of adornment and celebration of ourselves as powerful Black women. And so now I'm doing my queen work, and I make headdresses, which I call crowns, and I do crowning of sisters. That's been for the past like maybe 7 years, and now I have robes to go with them. And I'm bringing forward this queen class, which is to reclaim our thrones and the queendom one queen at a time.
Oh my goodness. Please tell me you have a crown for me to look at.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love
Okay,
crowns.
can I just go right there?
Yes,
Okay, I'll
yes,
be
yes,
right back.
please.
Okay, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. I love crowns. Don't you love when you
Okay,
just put the
okay.
crown on your head? You just feel the energy that you are the queen or empress or princess or one of those titles that are so high up the hierarchy. Let me say greetings to my brothers and sisters. Yes, yes, yes. Greetings. Good evening, Queen. Yes, yes. How are you?
Woo-hoo.
Greetings, everyone. Greetings, greetings. How are you? Greetings. I see the ladies need a crown. That's what she going to get right now. She going to get her crown right now. So good
Okay.
to see.
So this is the one
Greetings.
I think I'm going to wear tomorrow.
Okay.
And this queen, these they're all one of a kind. They're all handmade by me. They're all full of the love of God, and everything is beautiful in there. And it's based on the ancient Kemetic legacy.
Okay.
So this is the inspiration that I had.
Let me see. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is
This
beautiful.
is I can't see my middle my four okay, it's my four jewel wrong way. But yeah, this is who we are right here. This thing is reflecting back to me on the other side. So this is a little bit of the one of my sort
I
of
love it.
what's
I
good
love it.
extravagant. Let me just do another quick one. Ha!
Yes, do as many as you want. I'm like, I'm
Look,
the dress up girl, so you can go ahead and do as many as you want.
these are the ones that's right there in my closet that that I'm grabbing because okay, so this one is based on our cultural iconic cowrie shell that we love
Oh yes, the
in
cowrie
all
shells.
forms. So the whole point is to tap into uh, the ancient beauty and legacies that belongs to us to restore that. So I
Yes,
imagine this is golly, this thing is throwing me off because it's going the other way. Oh, okay. By
yes.
the time it's
Oh
finished,
my
by the
God.
time it's finished, I'll be able to figure out how to put myself the right way.
Yeah, the camera takes you in reverse, but no, I see it. I
Yes.
love
So
that.
this is a cowrie piece.
Yes,
Girls, I'm not drunk and I'm just don't know how to do this
I
yet.
love
Ah,
that. Oh my
I'll put my hand aside.
goodness.
Okay, I'll do one
Wow.
more. I'll do one more. This particular piece I call Josephine,
Okay.
inspired by my grandmother, Grand Josephine. I had two fabulous grandmothers, and they brought me into the house of beauty. And this one, my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, she uh, she taught me all about beads and bubbles. So she
Mhm.
had people thought she was my aunt. She had the red lipstick, the Tina Turner wigs, the long nails, chiffon, and all of that. Girl, you're fumbling around here. But she gave me the beads and the bubbles. So this one, okay, let me see if I'm gonna do this right.
You
Is
know, when you say Josephine, you know what I'm thinking about.
Josephine Baker what?
Yes. How'd you
That
know?
that is the energy. That's the
Oh.
energy.
Oh,
Mm. So
yes.
I'll stop like here because I'm otherwise doing it crooked. So as
Okay.
you can see, each one is different.
Yes.
Each one has a different energy. I'm so passionate about my work, whatever I do, and I feel that actually when I started making the crowns, first I sought crowns and I saw some because I was doing the hair jewelry and the place that I went that I found them, one place I found them because it was calling to me, went out of business. And I said, oh, I can make them. I think I can do that. And I got into this whole realm of creating them. And then as I began to reach my hands over to crown the sisters,
Mm-hmm.
spirit was there, the
Mm.
anointing, the presence. And so it became much more than just the adornment and adorning, but it became an anointed expression of honor and respect between myself and the queen before me.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Wow.
that and robes. I don't have on one of my robes, but tomorrow I'm gonna bring crowns uh,
Yes.
and robes, and so I'm gonna be there early. And sisters want to come by and see if there's a crown that has their name, that's calling them, has their name on it. I'd be more than glad to serve them.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got Nicholas Brooklyn in the house, which is where you will be tomorrow, family,
Mhm.
brothers and sisters. Be sure to get out to Brooklyn, New York, the bookstore, Nicholas Brooklyn on Fulton Street, so you
Mhm.
guys can enjoy the event and everything that's going on. Shout out to the brothers and sisters there that are helping everyone to
Yeah.
heal and to grow and to expand. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yes.
Yes, I would
I
think.
love those crowns. I love
Mm-hmm.
those crowns. You know
Thank
what I like a lot is that they are different. You know how people when you say crown, you know what they're thinking about. A
Yeah.
large, but it kind of it seems more sensual, more sexy. Especially the
Okay.
first one you put on.
Okay, Miss Tantric, come on in here. No, you know what is so interesting? I'm glad you said that. And that is precisely why I'm doing this queen work, because when you say crown, what you did, that's Queen Elizabeth. That's the stolen legacy. That's the lie that was taken from us. And that's what we're reclaiming. Like, when you study, as I've had, the ancient African tribes, indigenous peoples, uh, queens of Africa, the Kemetic queens. This is what we did. This was part of our beauty regimen. This is how we walked. This is how we moved. And then here comes Elizabeth, and all of a sudden she's the progenitor of queenliness, and she's got blue blood. And what? The England people that didn't even bathe, that like put powder on top of everything, and come on now.
Yep.
Yes. So
Yep.
I had to. I went on a long journey and study of finding, tracing the origins of our queen and the ancient queens and kings of Africa. And I am so glad that that's the foundation that this comes from, and
Mm-hmm.
that should go forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. So that, yeah, it's definitely connected to our lineage and it's something
Yeah.
that we had as a people for many, many, many years.
Yes. Let's say thousands,
Thousands of years.
thousands of years we're talking about. And, I had the opportunity to finally do one of my dreams, which was to go to Kemet, and it was this year, January. And although I didn't see the inspiration is in the walls. It's written. The colors are still there. Everything is still there. So I just have to imagine from a very deep place and bring it forward. And
Yes.
this is what it looks like live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
This is like for the women, it would be sort of like a graduation in life, a level up. Like, could you explain a little bit more about that?
Okay. So basically, I mean, unfortunately, what has happened, being stolen, taken away from our way of life, our roots, we don't have rites of passage. So there's not a book to tell you how to be a woman or how to be a parent or whatever. But specifically, when we have rites of passages, we were instructed on the things of womanhood, of how to maintain your household, how to uh, be for your husband, how to all our beauty rituals and treatments, how to put that myrrh underneath and your sacred beads around your waist, so many things that we were instructed in. Um, and we are a far, far cry from, womanhood. So queen is a high expression, a noble expression of the heights, the best part, the royalty of who we are as women. And we are so degraded at this point in time. Like, the whole ideal of what a woman is has been so destructed, just taken down. And so I am a part of a move to restore that, and to show a way, a path of These are the levels, these are the realms that you go through that would actually, when consummated, have you sitting on your throne properly, and in the heights of a woman being a queen.
Mhm. Ashe.
Yes. So I,
Greetings,
okay,
Kufunya.
sorry.
Sister Kufunya's here. Greetings, Sister Kufunya. How are you? Good evening.
Good evening, Sister Kafunya.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I want to ask you a question. Do you feel like women are moving towards being a little bit more masculine, or do you feel like there's just simply an imbalance in our society today?
Well, both. It seems like both of those are true.
Okay.
Um, I think that femininity and the sacred and the sacred power and authenticity of femininity and what it offers has been, I'm gonna say, bastardized. It
Mm,
has been compromised. And I was thinking about this as part of what I want to say tomorrow. It has to do with the fact that feminism um, overtook femininity. And
mm,
there's a distinction. There's a very great distinction between femininity and feminism. And so, feminism, I look at who did it serve. And I hope I'm not stepping on toes. I guess I will one way or the other. But I remember I'm a '60s baby, so I remember I was part of the hippie movement and growing up with the presidents and the Black Power and all of that and free love and whatnot. And then the feminist movement came in,
mm-hmm,
and I saw what it did on the European side, and then I saw what it did on the culture on our side, right, the Black side. So for them, like they've been wait. Oh my gosh, I'm saying stuff. They've been waving the banner for feminism for equality since the suffrage movement on that side, right?
right.
But the result of it, to a large extent, for us was the breaking up of our households. Families were brought. For us, it created a separation, and it created led into the baby daddy movement. So many things were happened as a result of that institution. And when I look from where we are now, and this is getting really a little bit on the political side, but forgive me, uh,
Mm-hmm,
I'm looking at who it served ultimately, because even this thing that we've gone through, this recently election, it was on the lines of some things in that realm of femininity and feminism. And at the end of the day, I don't want to say Karen. I don't know how to say this nice. WP, I don't know, but they they stick together.
they do.
They stick with their men, and they went in the booth and they pulled the trigger on like both times. They
Yes.
together. They're
Yes.
unified. The
Yes.
king and the queen, the African queen, the black queen, the black man and woman. The divisiveness has always been put into our community, things to break us. And at the end of the day, they march right on along and support whatever this man, the head of them, says,
Mm-hmm.
um, and make it happen for them, so they stay in their position and their status is maintained.
Right.
That
So,
was a whole other side conversation.
it is, but it's just that. So what I see is it's difficult for a lot of Black women to get into their feminine state because they're doing so many things that are affiliated with being masculine. Like they're taking care of the whole household. They're raising the boy. They're trying to raise the boys. They're trying to raise the girls. They're trying to go to work to bring home the bacon, to make all the money. And they're trying to do all of these things, and it's wearing and tearing on their spirit. And
Yes.
it
Yeah.
over time, and a lot of women actually don't notice it. They don't notice it. They
Yeah.
think that it's normal because everyone else they believe is doing it this way. And so to even bother to look for a good quality man, it's like he's got to have a certain amount of money, or he's got to have a certain look. All of the other qualifications about integrity and honesty and hardworking, all of those is just like, okay, well, who cares about all of that? If he don't have money, he ain't good looking. Who wants to
Yeah.
bother with him?
Yeah. There's a lot. There's so many layers to it. And what I was talking about was like probably like origins, like beginning, and this is how it looks now, how it plays out, that we are alienated from the divine feminine power that we were birthed with, that we have, that has so much so many qualities, good qualities, attributes that we can hone into and use in a positive way. It has us being, like you're saying, being judgmental. We're sitting as a judge. We're angry. We're bitter. All of these things have happened because of us taking up the mantle of what these people have put down for us, what they laid down for us, and it doesn't serve us.
Mm-mm.
And we find ourselves in a place where I'm for everybody, but our community is devastated. It's torn up. These kind of things tear our traditions and institutions down,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
they keep marching on, same as it
Yes.
ever was, and we're left separated, broken up, uh, confused about our identity, feel not really understanding the depth of so many things as far as what is power, what is love,
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
is sexuality, sensuality, what is identity. The female identity is totally compromised.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. You're so right. I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, exactly what is sexuality? What is it when you meet a man and you're attracted to him, and the business of always immediately going to the bed as opposed to taking the time to courting someone, which a lot of women tell me courting is old school. And that's the process of getting to know someone. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but they're telling
Listen,
me I'm wrong.
no, listen, and I'm not saying this. I'm saying things that's not all my philosophy that I originated, but this is herein lies the problem. There's a lot of misinformation and knowledge because in relationships there are stages, there are circles that you have. First you're introduced, then you become acquainted, then you establish a friendship. Intimacy is on the outer realms, and so when you skip those parts and you don't get to know someone, you have a lot of problems. You have a lot of situations which really leave you in a very hurtful and unhealthy place. You
Mm,
cannot skip past go, like you can't jump from 1 to 10. You got to walk it out, and that takes time. That's not old school. That's common sense. That's good sense. That's protecting yourself.
exactly.
That is walking with power and knowledge. Like, it's foolish in any realm to just walk and move without forethought. There has to be some kind of process. Nothing is instantaneous and immediate. And the times we're living in, that's part of it. Everything, nobody ain't got time for that.
Nope.
To date, the court, but oh, I'm on the totally on the other side tonight. I was so queenie yesterday, but today, you got me thinking like, no.
The solutions, Kufunya. Sister Kufunya said the solutions.
Yeah, well, the solutions come from the work that you must do, that we must do as women, to really be clear on who we are, to have a standard that we are based in, to not throw away our rich knowledge bases of our history and our legacy and our place and our position as women. That is immutable. That doesn't change. So you have a birthright of womanhood that you alone. A woman is the only one who populates this planet. All life comes through us. We have been given some divine power of creating, of incubating, of we are Mother Earth. We are it, and so it's a big responsibility, and it's beautiful. But we are not in a position to forsake the power and the blessing of who we are to this world and to the planets, for our men, for our children, and first of all for ourselves. You
Mhm.
have to know yourself. So the solution is always um, seeking. You know, it says, seeking you shall find. You have to put in the work of cleaning house, of learning of your history, of getting to know what makes you move, what's in your heart, all of those things.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. So, what do we have in state? Said yes, women are it. Kafunya said you getting to know a person first and foremost.
Yes.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you
Because
go.
you know what they say, the representative always comes first.
Yes,
So
child.
you're not gonna meet the real person till after some time.
That's true. That's true. That's why you have to be observant. You have to watch. You have to take your time. What's the rush? Why everybody's in a rush? What's the rush?
Yeah, well, the thing is that the background conversation for all of life, and this too, is love. We all want to be loved. We were put here for love. We are expressions of love. And in hunger and being hungry for love and being desperate for love and looking for love externally and out there when the whole queendom is within here,
Hmm.
yes, you will have that. You can attract that. But you must be clear on the house that you're living in.
Mm.
Who am I? What's going on with me? And you have to sit in a powerful place to be able to choose. Because your choices and your decisions determine the whole trajectory of your life.
There you go. There you go.
Boom. One simple decision.
There you go. That's it. You're right. So you speak about like the nine realms.
Okay, so let me tell you what they are.
Okay.
So basically, the paradigm that I'm looking at is using symbols from our royalty, symbols of our royalty as expressions of the various realms. So and the way that I approached it is from the external.
Hmm.
You're going from out here and you're going to go in, right? So
Hmm.
you're going from the things around you. So the first place where the queen lives is the palace, right?
Yes.
That's your home, your sanctuary, that environment that's around you, that surrounds you. That's your at the first outer inner space for the woman.
Right.
The next realm is the robe, which has to do with what we're talking about. Um, your dress, your carriage, how you carry yourself, how your identity and your expression, um, based on how you do your outerwear. But then
Mm-hmm.
there's also a part of the robing that is your innerwear, because that's part of our tradition that we have lost. The things that are personal and dear to us and our personal adornment as women that affirm us to ourselves and for ourselves, right? So you got the palace, and then you're coming into the robe, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're going to go to this next level, which has to do with Queen's speech, the
Ooh.
word, what's coming out of your mouth. The next realm has to do with the crown or thinketh, your mind, your thoughts. As a woman thinketh, so is
Mm-hmm.
she. So
Right.
that's your fourth realm. You're dealing with your thought life. The fifth realm has to do with, I don't know if I'm putting in the right order, but I would say for now, the scepter. The
Ah.
queen carries a scepter. It's a symbol of her power and authority, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a realm that we need to look into. So the scepter. And then that power and authority is relegated within the realm of your royal court, the queen's court,
Mm-hmm.
which are the people that are under your jurisdiction, under your realms, your subjects, so to speak.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the whole realm of relationship. Okay, so you got your palace, you got the robe, you got your queen's speech, you got your queen's thoughts, you got your scepter, you have your royal court, you have something essential, which is, okay, we're getting deep now. This is the heart of
Mm.
a queen. That's a whole chapter and verse right there. Queen's heart. Dealing with queen's heart will definitely take you into the next realm of the king, which is what we're talking about, right?
Right.
You have that open heart. You have to look at how is that in relationship to the king. And I think, what did I leave out? Ah,
What?
last but not least, Queen Spirit.
Mm.
Queen Spirit.
Queen spirit.
Because the
Yes.
spiritual aspects of who we are, that's it. That's it. And when you have dealt uh, thoroughly within these realms, within yourself, where you will land, where you will come out, is ready to sit on your throne, to sit in your seat of power, to
Mm.
sit in that power and authority, but in the right way, in a
Mhm.
way that is of service to everyone around you, to your community, and even to yourself. Service, yes.
Nice, nice, nice. I love, so I have a question. So when you said how to speak, now a lot of our sisters today, when it
Mm.
comes to communicating, I don't know
Mm.
if you've seen some of these videos. It's just everything coming out the mouth. And I think they fail to always think about what they're saying. And I also feel like at times they're regurgitating what they heard from someone else as opposed to speaking from the heart. So, what did you want to say about that when it comes to like communicating?
Well, communication, everything is handled through communication. Everything can be and is handled. Communication is the basis of life. And so, what is happening as we become this digital world so dependent on social media and quick and fast everything and celebrities and reality TV and all of these things, it has, all these things have been very compromising. The people's ability now to have critical thinking, to be able to dialogue, is a muscle that is being lost, right? So the communication is not even on the level. What happens is you and I are having, supposed to be communicating and having a dialogue. You say something, I say something. The level of muscle right now is, there's usually not a second level. We're dialoguing, we're communicating. You don't have the competence, you don't have the skills. You want to curse, you want to be profane, and you're going to walk out the door. We're not going to have we can't, because you don't even have the muscle for dialogue and communication. One,
Yes.
one or two steps and you out, you gone. So this is where we are, and we have a lot to do to really, to have the wherewithal. The wherewithal. We have to be able and we have to be willing to put the work in and to go the distance for ourselves in
Hmm.
communication with the king, with our subjects, our family, our community.
Hmm.
There's no easy way out. There's no quick and fast way. All them friends on Facebook, they ain't your real friends. You don't have really relationships with those people. Relationships involve give and take. They involve communication, and you have to be willing, and you have to have muscles for that. And so
Hmm.
the capacity has been well diminished.
Yes.
Right now, it's so diminished.
Yes. Yes. I love that you chose to use the word muscle, because that's exactly what it is. When you have a muscle that you're
Hmm.
working and you're building and you're strengthening, and it becomes more powerful and therefore it's
Yes.
more useful. So I love that. I've never heard anyone use it like that. So I love
Okay.
that. I
Wonderful.
love that.
Yes. Wonderful. Well,
Yes.
yeah, there's a lot of work. We have a lot to do. And I would say the elders, my group, that's my group, we have a job to do. We have an obligation. We should not be leaving here with the goods. We should not be leaving it to the grave. We need to be accountable, and we need to do our purpose, because whether or not young people or whoever, the women, think they need us. They
Yes.
need what we have. They need the foundation. They need the knowledge. And, I dare say a lot of them want it, some knowingly and some not.
Hmm.
They're looking, they're seeking. but we're, like I say, looking for love in all the wrong places. Where they're looking, they're not going to get the answer.
Right.
So it's incumbent upon us to actually take them by the hand, and to speak into their lives
Hmm.
and give them something that they can work with and create some hope for the future.
Mm.
Because
Yes.
we're in a bad way right now, honey. It is really bad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's so funny because I have an event this weekend and we're supposed to bring the men and the women together to talk. And so the women were saying they feel like they can't say what's on their mind because the men were offended. And the men were saying, no, it's actually the women who get sort of like excited and they raise their voice and then they start over talking the men. And so it's sort of a touchy conversation because the conversation is about why aren't things working out for us as a people when it comes to relationships? And so it's kind of everyone's pointing the finger and no one's looking at themselves.
Exactly, exactly. There's a big word that is involved in this whole thing, and that word is a powerful and sacred word, and it's called humility. Humility is lacking. You have to, and it's misdefined. Like people feel like, you're a sucker. Like, you're a woman, you got a point of view, and you ain't say you ain't gonna, humility is like you gonna be submissive and so. No, 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 no. You're misunderstanding.
Mm.
Someone has to humble themselves to
Mm.
be able to listen, to be able to hear, to have a breakthrough. It's not a fight. We're not fighting. So there's a lack of understanding, misinterpretation of some of the very basic ways of being that people have now, so tainted. Ah, but we have to bring truth. I don't want to, like, bring a down note. But yes, we're in a very strange place right now.
Yeah.
I think the only thing we can do is speak truth.
Hmm.
Speak truth. Be principle based.
Yes.
Not all in your feelings. Your feelings are fleeting and they're misleading.
Yes.
You cannot live
Yes.
on your emotions, honey. In this world, it's not gonna get you nowhere. Okay,
You got that right.
where you going? Or my feelings, my feelings. What? That's a very shaky ground to live out of.
Yes.
So we got work to do.
Yes.
We
Yes.
got
Yes.
work to do.
I agree. I agree. The other thing you mentioned, the scepter. I'm telling you, the first thing I thought about was that movie in Harry Potter, and they have all the magical things, and they have the scepters there. And you want to speak about a little bit about using the scepter or visualizing a scepter and how it helps them.
Well, a scepter. I love a scepter because when I looked at the scepters of the ancient queens in the studies that I did, and I saw, it's almost like for a woman. It could be a man too, but for a woman, it would be for a scepter. For a man, it would probably be a sword.
Yes.
The scepter is a symbol of power, but it's, again, in most cases, it's a feminine power.
Mhm.
The scepter has like an egg, an oval shape. It's
Yes.
it's not cutting. It's not like that. It's to be held. It's to point out, to point away. How that
Mhm.
scepter is used in a feminine aspect is so different from how it's being used now. It's being used almost like a sword, almost like
Yes.
off with your head,
Yes. No, you're right. You're
But
right.
that scepter, the scepter in the feminine realm, is a sweet and divine way of knowing how to use your power, and it is in a feminine realm, and it's not submissive, and it's not disempowering. It's not none of the misconceptions that we're getting about it.
Mhm.
So yeah, scepter is just a beautiful, I think, feminine way of understanding our power and authority and how to use it.
Yes, yes. I could just visualize the crown, the robe, the scepter, you know?
Yes, yes.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's a vision. It's a vision of who we are. It's something that we can tap into uh, and have exist in our being.
Yes.
This is from ancient times, but it's very present.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. For women who are dealing with all these things in the household, you know, the children and job and everything, how could this help them balance out that lifestyle that they currently have?
Well, whatever the situation is, because we all have different configurations of our families and our lives, but how this can help them is to help them discover what the queen needs to be vibrant, to be alive, to not be smothered, to be able to be in relationship from a healthy place, to be able to give and to receive. So it can help you carve out your palace. It could
Mm,
be in a room. It could be in a seat in the corner. Just like on a spiritual level, people create altars. A place where they can sit and be, and
yes.
and take a moment of reflection and kind of shift their energy. So this work is a centering work. And here's the beauty of it: there are no two queens alike, right? We are all so uniquely divine. So my vision of queen of myself and me identifying what serves me, where I am, who I am,
Hmm.
is different from yours, but it's
Yes.
still the same. So what I want to help women do, I don't have, I'm not giving you a cookie cutter uh, program of how to become a queen. Like we're all the same.
Hmm.
But tomorrow pretty much is so much to cover. It's like an opening, an inquiry, an opening inquiry. What I'm intending to do in January, January 11th, 111.
Right.
That's what Spirit gave to me to begin doing the work. And I was thinking about it this morning. I can't hardly sleep up at 4:30 this morning. I'm like, okay, girl, listen, this is gonna be, and I said this what my thought was, this is like Queen Boot Camp. It's gonna be like, let's do the work. Like,
Yes.
let's get into these realms and through practices, through exercises, through doing work, we will get to the bottom of these things. And then when we are done, you will be on your throne and you shall not be moved.
Mm. Ashe.
That's the
That's
word.
beautiful.
Yes.
That's beautiful. You shall not be moved. That's it. You know, when I think also, I noticed that I heard a guy one day, he was speaking about when you're playing chess,
Mm-hmm.
and the most important piece, the most powerful piece is the
The queen.
queen. And he was explaining that and I was like, you know, look at us today. You know, in that extent, are we as powerful as we can be? And we're really not.
Mm.
You know, I mean, in the sense of in a different way. Yeah, you have women out here who are making boss moves, but in terms of what he was speaking about, he was saying like in the household with
Mm.
your rightful
Mm.
partner, you know,
Mm-hmm.
building it like that. That's how he was speaking, not
Yeah.
like the women making the boss moves alone. Because you have women out here who are like that.
Yeah. This is definitely where I'm coming from as an inner work. It is then in that familiar environment. It's in that personal environment. It's in that community environment. I think the reason that we're so crooked, why we're so bent in terms of our role as a woman and as a queen and in our femininity is because of that. That's a masculine framework. We're not dealing, I mean, that has gotten so much focus. The attention is on being a boss, being a boss woman and making money. Those materialistic, those outer things, that is not the essence of life and who we are. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So we need to do some inner work, because everything is manifested from the inside out. The kingdom, the work, the treasures are within. So, as you well know, you could be very, very successful in those outer realms and, making money. But will that bring you true peace? Will that help you attract the person that you want to spend your life with? Will that give you peace? Will that make you stable in your daily living? You know, will it make you feel really like, does it make you feel really good about who you really are?
Yeah. No, no. I find that I do meet women who are like that, and it on the outside, it appears as if they're very happy, but when you really get to know them and you sit down with them and genuinely, like internally, they're sad and
I knew
they're
it. I
very
knew you was gonna say that. I felt it.
yeah. And I'm like, and people who don't recognize that, they're like, oh yeah, they got it going on. They got this good. And I was like, you have to take the time to really, get to know a lot of these sisters because just because you see all of that glitter that ain't gold, really, really, their hearts are broken and they're
Yeah.
lonely and they're sad.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So
And a lot of them want to rest. They
yes.
want to break.
Yes. You know what? They're actually being. I can't say being men, but that drive, that it has to be balanced. We all have masculine and feminine aspects to ourselves as human beings. But if you're born in a divine right of being a woman, and as you saying, having uh, being the center of around which everything operates, the family operates, the relationship, that's an aspect to the business. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time, but I will not forsake my role and my power and my divinity and my beauty and my femininity as a woman. It's all got to work together. And I'm not selling out a man. I'm not selling out a brother. I'm not trying to replace a brother. I'm looking at being the highest actualization of myself as a woman.
Hmm.
And that's a mother, that's a sister, that's a wife or mate, whatever. When I can be the fullness of myself in my queen self, in my queen woman self, everything else around me in all my realms. I'm not saying is easy, but you have the power. You have the wherewithal to be able to negotiate and manage and work with these things with a certain level of grace and ease.
Right,
The grace and the ease,
right,
the peace.
right, right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because
Right.
those women are talking, they're speaking no peace.
No, no peace. And, you can have all the vacations, you can have all the nice clothes, and, there's really no inner peace. There's
Mhm.
really no happiness. A lot of them are lacking joy, and they're struggling to find that, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, yeah. And I didn't recognize that myself years ago. I would see them and just like everyone else be like, oh yeah, they're the boss, they got this going on. And they're taking on so much,
Yes.
and people are
Yes.
just like, you know, thinking, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this. And it's like they're just a single person on an island as opposed to being
Yes.
part of a community.
Yes. Yes. Being part of a community is so important. We grow in community, and that makes me stop to take a moment to acknowledge the community of Nicholas, 50 years deep, still
Yes.
still committing to bringing people together in a forum and allowing them to resonate and reflect and grow together in community. And it's a well to drink out of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And we need thousands and thousands of more
Yeah.
communities, because you have one here, you have one there, and everyone's coming together because I feel like we need communities like worldwide.
Absolutely.
Where people can
Absolutely.
go, to learn and to, everything doesn't have to be on social media because it becomes a little bit, I guess you become less sociable. It's a little bit robotic. And so when we
Mm.
used to come together, it's
Mm.
more, it's like you could feel each other's energy. It's more loving, it's more nurturing. And you could say anything over the phone, but when you see that person, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I know they're doing okay because
Yes.
you're there in their presence,
Ain't
and
no,
you see the children.
yes. Ain't
That's
nothing
what
like the
makes a
real
difference.
thing. That's real. That's
That's
real.
that's real. That's
Yeah.
real. And that's what our community is lacking, like we don't really come together anymore. We don't really have, as many gatherings anymore. Lack of support, yeah, a lot of sadness, loneliness.
Yeah.
And speaking, I know this is about women, but this month, November, is Men's Mental Health Month.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I thought about that and I was like, you know, a lot of the men, like right now, the suicidal rate is going up for Black men. And that's not something that's been since like 20 or 30 years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
something's happening along the lines. And a lot of the men are telling me that they'd rather be single because they don't know what to expect in a relationship when it comes to, women. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, they're, you know, acknowledging them and what they're going through. But it's important. It's important to be able to recognize when we're hurting each other and acknowledge when we're doing something that offends each other, you know? And as opposed to just letting them simmer in that pain, you know, being able to just say it's okay, being able to say, you know what, I know I hurt you, you know, I recognize that. How do we move forward? And we lack this level of human beings, just being a human being, being
Mm-hmm.
empathetic for one another. And
Yes.
so we don't even have a mental health day for women. And Lord knows we need it. We need it. And I was like, there's a mental health day for men, a mental health month for
Month,
men,
a whole month.
whole month.
You know, as to progenitors, this is keep coming back to this thing, and until we are right, we are the center of it, and until we are in our right place, like they get messed up too. We crooked, and we making them crooked. Like, let me say this. Let me give you an example. So, just like how women are exposing themselves in the street, how they're dressing in the street, right? I've watched the men. They don't know what to do with us. We are out of control in ways. Like, what do you, yeah, they're having issues as well because, like, I remember when they were interacting with us publicly in a certain kind of way, and now it's like silence. Like,
Yes.
it's like they don't know what to do.
No.
They don't know what to do.
No.
Woman, queen, queen, queen. So many people depending on us to like be in our seats and to be that powerful, noble, beautiful, nurturing, compassionate leader. It turns on us. We are the key. So our children gonna be walking crooked. Our men gonna be walking lopsided.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's our responsibility to take care. We can't baby them. Nobody's saying baby them, but certainly even oh, we are rough, honey. Judgmental, cut you down like what?
Mm-hmm.
These men can't. They don't even. They scared to go talk to you at a party.
Mm-hmm.
To come over to you if you and your girls are like wolves over there. They scared. They don't know what to do. Anyway, we do need a mental health. movement. I know there's women's. I know that we tend to. It's historically known that we tend to do therapy more, and we go in groups and we talk.
Yeah.
So come tomorrow. That's a group, women.
Mhm.
Let's get in the room and let's look at ourselves. Let's love on ourselves and let's grow together.
Yes.
Let's grow
Yeah.
together because when we come together, it's magic anyway.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You get a group of black women together, you're going to make things happen
Yes,
all
yeah,
the time. It's like black girl magic.
exactly, exactly. And we
Exactly.
have and we have to make room for our kings. We can't X them out. We need them just as much as they need us.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Thank you
Yes.
for saying that. We definitely need them. You know, someone was telling me that so years ago when you used to have these parties at school and the boys and the girls would, be dancing or
Hmm.
playing around. Have you been to any of these school parties recently? I was. And the boys was over there and the girls were over there. Not at one point did it even come together to talk or whatever. And I was like, I remember when I was little, we were intermingling, playing with each other, dancing with each other, eating. And it was just,
You mean like no socialization for real? No socialization? Because,
oh,
honey, everybody was probably with their phone. I know I went years, this is years now. My girlfriend, she asked me to go with her to an event that her daughter was having, and the music was playing, and nobody was dancing, and everybody had their phone out, and there
oh.
was the zero socialization, mixing and mingling.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. It does have to do with the social media, the phones.
Yeah, like
Wow.
why is a room full of people and everybody got their phone out and nobody's talking and nobody's dancing and everybody's me. I selfie selfie you what?
Ooh,
I
that
I.
ego.
That's it.
Yeah, wanting that attention from the media, the social media, that ego, building up that ego.
It's all about me and it's so superficial. So the work that needs to be done is deep. We have to go in deep. We can approach it from the outside beautifully and gently and nurture, but it's some confrontation. There's some real funky, dirty, whatever. We all have it, but
Yes,
we need to excavate. The house got to be clean, queen. We got to get our house in order. We
yes,
have to rule. We rule. We
that's
rule.
right.
We rule whether we want to or not. We are ruling
That's right.
directly or by default. We're
That's right.
ruling.
That's right. And we had some powerful queens in our history, and I don't see any reason why we can't have any now.
Exactly. And it's each one of us. It's you in your home, in your community. It's me in my home, in that community. Like, we always look for the big savior person, the woman, the man, this president or whoever's going to be. But, if we all carried our weight and did our part, the thing would be healed up.
If we all carried our weight and did our part, that's the key right there. That is the key right there.
And that's why I'm coming forward tomorrow. I have done bits and pieces of this work here and there. And when you get up there a little bit, the numbers start adding up. That youthful courage. Holy Spirit was like, "Hello, get up. It's time. Let's go. Let's do this." So I'm
Yes.
here. I'm here for it. I'm like, I'm gonna pour out everything that I have of who I am to share, and to lift up a sister and to help her get to her throne
Ooh,
and thereby to heal the communities and families. We got to do it one, like I said, everybody like to say one thing at a time, one queen at a time, and so
one
be it.
queen at a time. Exactly. Exactly. So, family, y'all make sure y'all get to Nicholas, Brooklyn. You see right there? Get there tomorrow. In fact, get there early. Don't get there. Don't try to arrive on time. Get there early so you can, walk around and greet yourself, hug the sister, let her know who you are. And brothers, I want to just say, men, if you have a wife, if you have a girlfriend, if you have
Mm,
a daughter, if you have a
mm,
sister, even
mhm,
if you want to bring your mother,
Yes.
Bring her out because there's no such thing as an age limit when it comes to becoming your queen. Am I correct? Is
You
there an
are
age limit?
absolutely correct because the queens in the making, they need guidance. The queens that are affirming themselves. They may need a refreshing just to remember, get that reflection, get that mirror out of who you are, re-energize yourself, and let's like take back our divine place, our position in this world. Things are going awry, and there's something for every woman because we're all one. We're all, one divine sisterhood. We are.
Mhm,
Yes.
mhm, mhm.
Yes.
Yes, Ashe, Ashe. And
Yes.
soon you're gonna be doing how to cook your meals at home for your man, and
No, I'm gonna leave that one for you.
you. All right, I'll be showing y'all what to do, how to cook, how to prepare dinner,
I'll
and
take a
what to
class with
wear.
you on that one. Okay,
Yeah.
sis. Yes.
Ashe, Ashe. So, brothers and sisters, be sure to get out tomorrow, Nicholas, Brooklyn, and make sure
Yes.
you attend the event. There's going to be a lot of exciting things going on. And I want to make sure you guys get your share of knowledge and information so that you could grow, so that you could learn, so that you could
Yes.
expand, so that you could be a better person, a better human being, and so that
Yes.
we could be a better community.
Yes.
That's
So,
what we
so,
need.
so they need to go if they can to Eventbrite. There is a love
Oh,
offering
yeah. It's
being
Eventbrite, right?
had
Okay.
at say again.
I was gonna say, let me change the banner.
It's gonna you can get a ticket at Eventbrite. It's a love offering of $20.
Is it Eventbrite under Nicholas
Under
Brooklyn or
if you put in the Queendom, it'll
okay?
come up, and probably Nicholas Brooklyn as well. And if don't let it be a deterrence to you tomorrow. I'm not encouraging anybody just like to take and not give, but come because the community store, our home base needs support, and we're willing to take a love offering. Don't not come, sister, if you feel to come. Go
Hmm.
on, get the ticket appropriately if you can, but it's important if you can be there to be there and do what you can.
Yes,
I
I
hope I'm not
should.
out of pocket for saying that, but
No.
I don't want to turn, I don't want people to feel turned away. I want you to feel welcome and let this be the beginning and also to give and not just take.
Oh, exactly. Always be willing to give and not just take. So $20, y'all. Please, that is very affordable, y'all. I don't hear no excuses.
Uh-huh.
That's very affordable. So let's see here. So $20. Okay, the Queendom. It could be under Nicholas Brooklyn or it could be under the Queendom.
Yeah.
But you go on the Eventbrite and you should be able to find it. Y'all accept door fees though too, right? Can they
Yes,
can they
that's what we're saying. The gratuity of 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 that and of your heart, that's a ticket in. That's a ticket too.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. And it'll just be a blessing just to be there because I want to say you want to be around people who are loving and supportive. So a lot of times we're around our jobs and the energy and the people could be chaotic or stressful.
Mm.
Your supervisor, your manager, your coworker. A lot of times you're at home and it's stress and it's bombardment and you want to be in an environment sometimes just being there in an environment where people are just sharing stuff with you, sharing information with you, and willing to just support you, hug you, guide you, and love you. That's what we need as a community. That's what we need.
Yes,
So
people who
y'all
look
just
like you, feeding and nurturing each other. That's what we do.
that's what we do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for coming on the show tonight. I'm so grateful.
Queen Bliss. Queen Bliss, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. And I look forward to seeing you, beautiful queens, tomorrow.
Yes, guys. Thank you for coming on tonight. Mwah.
Blessings.
We love you. We love you guys. Have a beautiful night. Mañana.